probably like 2:30 after this. So if you want to see more of my hijinks that are not related to ghosts, you can go ahead and do that. Unless we're talking about like Dastiny and stuff. That counts as ghost, right? It's dead. Okay, it's dead, so it counts as a ghost. That's how it works.
Is this panel about ghosts?
This panel is about Fatal Frame, which is a game about ghosts.
Oh, right. The thing you keep telling me about.
Yes, that you never listened to.
Oh, it's a soundtrack, or?
No, it's a game.
It's video games. You can rant to me about Mega Man for like 20 hours, but you can never remember anything about Fatal Frame.
It's definitely not for 20 hours.
19, right, 19 hours. Anyway, aside the point. So, most of you seem to already know what Fatal Frame is and have played it, yes? Raise the hands of people who have not played Fatal Frame. Okay, you're a liar. Okay, for the few of you who have not played Fatal Frame before, let me go ahead and give you a quick overview. It started off in Japan like early 2000s, and it was kind of made in that era of like Resident Evil, where there was a whole bunch of atmospheric horror, where not a lot happened like rapid fire, but the things that did happen caught you off guard because you're just constantly on the edge of expecting something to happen. And the Fatal Frame games themselves are very unique in the sense that they are very heavily based in Japanese culture. So if you're playing a Fatal Frame game, you're going to run into a lot of stuff that is very heavily Japanese. Like even the games that are set in what at the time was modern era, they will always go back to a time where everybody was wearing a kimono and trying to slice and dice people with a freaking hakama. The like hand scythe thingies. Kama, sorry, thank you, my bad, not a hakama, just anyway. So laugh at me all you want, you can't talk. So that's pretty much the base of it. The first Fatal Frame game was I don't want to say the least played, but it was definitely the hardest because they were still trying to get a feel for the whole series. Like they had a really good, solid idea in hand, but the learning curve was really hard and the difficulty was hard right off the bat. So it didn't draw a lot of people in. What drew a lot of people in was Fatal Frame 2. Oh my goodness. This was actually rated one of the, let me see, it came out in 2005, I want to say. This was rated the #1 scariest video game, even in America, and these games were not very well known at the time. So this one is the most well-known Fatal Frame game. It's called Fatal Frame Crimson Butterflies. Okay, first one is pretty much, there's a girl named Miku who, in my opinion, gets the short end of the stick in all of these video games because she constantly keeps showing up in every single goddamn video game. She's trying to find her brother who's disappeared in this mysterious ghost town where he was supposed to be looking for something. Her stupid brother falls in love with a dead person, and that's why she has such a hard time trying to get him back. That's my opinion on that. Second game, look. Her brother is stupid, okay? Just saying. Then we get to Fatal Frame 2, which is about these, are they twins? Yes. I wonder why they look so similar. It's because they're twins. Do you not remember that? Oh good, I'm glad you remember that. Yes. Okay, so it's about these two twins, Mayo and Mio. You are playing Mio. You're twins who are in the forest, like, being nostalgic for some reason. They don't exactly explain why you're in the forest being nostalgic. You are not being nostalgic to kill your sister. That's not no. Like, you're in the forest, your sister has, like, ooh, shiny syndrome and starts chasing after a crimson butterfly. None of them can run that fast, except in the fifth one. The fifth one they actually put in running physics, but they also put in booby physics, so...
That's Japan.
In Japan, yes. If there's no booby physics, they're not doing it. Thank you. But your sister gets ooh, shiny syndrome, runs off into the lost village, and then proceeds to, like, slowly but surely lose her mind as she is slipping back into a reincarnation of these two twins that used to live in this village before all hell broke loose, and I mean that quite literally, because in all of these games there is the theme of a pit of hell, as it were, In the first one, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was probably a well. There's always a well. In the second one, it is a literal pit to hell. In the third one, it's like this soul river thing. Like, you get put in the river and you get some sweet taps, and then you go into the river, and that's how you close the hole to hell. In the fourth one, you're in a hospital. Can't remember exactly what the hole is, but in the fifth one, it's a lake. They put you in a box and throw you into the lake. Bye. No, first they put you in a box, they throw you into the lake. Then they take you back out of the lake, they marry you to some guy who's alive, and then they put you back in the lake. I know, that's so romantic. I mean, that's what it is. But there's always a pit of hell, and there needs to be some sort of sacrifice given to the pit of hell to appease this entity. And in Fatal Frame 2, the general plot is you and your sister were these sacrifices. They always sacrificed twins to the pit of hell. The older sister was supposed to kill the younger sister, and I do this in quotes because they obviously don't know how birth order works. Because it's the second one that's the oldest, because they have to push out, the older twin has to push out the younger twin, which is how they thought of that, for some reason. So the older twin has to kill the younger twin, they throw the body into the pit of hell, you get this beautiful bruise mark on your neck showing that you killed your twin, which, I mean, everyone wants a memento of killing their sibling, right? The one that they grew up with, they always want that. And then life goes on in the village, except this time, one of the twins, the one that you're playing, did not want to die. Go figure, living is cool. So she ran away. Your twin sister, Mayu, however, did not have the brightest of ideas, tried to do the ritual by herself, and then went horribly insane. So then they had to start putting in countermeasures, like the Kusabi, aka Grandpa. Octopus Catwoman, yes, because he has this mask on, he's like this all of the time, and he's got like tentacles for some reason, which are supposed to be ropes. But they had to put in countermeasures. They tried Kusabi, that didn't work. They tried having two boys do it, which for some reason the pit of hell is very sexist and does not want to accept boy sacrifices. And then finally she tried doing it by herself, went insane, doomed the village, and your job is to try to resolve that issue. In the third one, it is, I really want this shirt, by the way. This shirt is really pretty. If you want to come up and look at this shirt, it's beautiful. All of the clothes are really pretty. This is where my girl comes out. I really want all of their clothes. Not their shoes, because I don't think that I think that's how they don't run. They can't wear shoes, so they don't run. I don't know why you wouldn't just kick those friggers off and just run away from the thing that's trying to axe you in half, but that's just aesthetic, yes, aesthetic. You need to look good while you're dying. That's your dream, to look good while you're dying. But she is a photographer, and her husband, Beyonce, dies in a car accident. Well, she is out at a photo shoot. I'm hanging out with you too much, Snap. She's out at a site because she takes pictures for like abandoned buildings and things like that. And she ends up catching a picture of her dead fiance. She ends up then, later on at night, going into the dream version of this mansion that was burned down, and she starts having to figure out the secret of this manner of sleep, as it were, which pretty much is creepy children that try to stab you with bacon. There are creepy dolls all over the place. Okay, look.
Baby.
What?
Don't you remember the lady with the baby carriage?
Oh, the lady with the baby carriage. I remember her now.
I think bacon would better.
Okay, let me explain the bacon, okay? I never thought I'd have to say that. Let me explain the bacon. So, she's the one that introduced me to Fatal Frame. And when we were playing the game, there's a theme with Shrine Maidens. Shrine Maidens are everywhere in Fatal Frame. There are always like 5 or 6. If you ever get exclamation point to dress in a traditional
Halloween
Shrine Maiden outfit.
Halloween.
And if she just randomly shows up behind me like she does because she's 5, I am going to scream bloody murder and run out of your apartment, just letting you know.
Doing it.
Don't give him the endorsement,
You gotta
you
make
sure?
her be the little girl with the bell on her ankle.
Yes.
It's so sad.
I'm sorry,
And
what?
then make her cry.
Are you giving me my
Make her
piss?
scream and cry laughing
at me.
about it.
She's pretty good at faking the cry.
She is pretty good at it, actually. But
That's
anyway,
the
so
worst
we were
fight in
playing.
those games.
We were playing this game, and she's trying to find because you know the sound of a hammer and chisel makes the tink, tink, tink. She's trying to find that, and she looks like through a little peephole, and she sees the child doing this motion, but she doesn't recognize what she's holding in her hand. So she says, "Why is she stabbing the ground with bacon?" You did. You can try to deny it all you want. I remember this perfectly. Why is she stabbing the ground with bacon? But then the child looks up, she goes, "Okay, child, I'm sorry," and then the child disappears. Later on, these shrine maidens reappear, trying to murder the hell out of you. And again, she doesn't realize that it's a chisel. And she goes, "Stop trying to stab me with bacon." Yes, I'm sure that you could catch the aroma of bacon coming from the TV. Yes, from the TV. Yes, it came through the TV. It was Sadako from The Ring. It came through the TV. You were there.
That'd be a pretty good crossover.
Yes, you remember the smell of bacon? Are you sure? Because no, it's not bacon. Okay, so that's where the bacon came from. But what was I talking about? The third game, right? So you have to find out the mystery of the Holly Maiden, who I don't know why she doesn't wear a shirt. This still perplexes me to this day.
For the same reason that every anime has at least one where they're at a hot spring.
Because it was the late 2000s and it's Japanese people.
Fair
Fan
enough.
service.
They don't particularly care, huh? People like boobs. That is correct. People like boobs. What concept? But I go between being super terrified of her and thinking she's really hilarious. Because at one point, she's chasing you down a hallway and you can't see her face until the very end when she gets this close to you. And like her eyes are tattooed and everything is tattooed. And she's just reaching out for you and you're in the middle of this nightmare. And then, oh yes, before I get too far on my tangent, Fatal Frame 3 introduced something different, which was 3 different characters having to do 3 different things. So there was main character, Rei, who was doing all the main stuff. There was Miku, that poor girl from the first game who had to fetch her brother from stupid ghost lady. There's her, again, getting into another hell situation. I feel for her, she's in the 5th one too. She is in the 5th game. Every odd number game she is there, hating her life.
I feel like after some point I'll just get used to it.
Like,
Right,
you
like
can
Ghostbusters
tell.
style, like, oh, it's another
Like
goat.
legit, in the 5th game, she is constantly wearing this face like, why do I hang out with these people? Like she's accepted her fate somehow. I feel so bad for her. But there's Rei, there's Miku, that poor girl. And then there's Man-Meat. I can't even remember his name. All I know is that he's there to literally push dressers.
He's related to the twins.
Right! He's related to these two, which only loosely ties in somehow. But he's only there for sexism, guys. Honestly, she will be running around. Oh wait, hold on. Amakura Kei. Oh yeah, there's Rei and there's Kei. I remember now. So Rei will be walking around minding her own business. She'll come across a door that just has a dresser in front of it, and you'll click on it, and it's like, if only there were a man here to push this dresser around.
Plot convenience. I happen to be in the
He needed
neighborhood.
a job, you're right. He was crashing on her couch and he needed a job. So he needs to go to the ghost realm and push dressers. He did do a fantastic job until he disappeared into black mold on the couch, ruining her couch, by the way. He is a very ungrateful house guest. First he crashes on her couch, then all he does is push dressers, and then he disappears. Let him be. Let him be black mold on my dresser. That's exactly what I need in my life. He's beautiful until he's black mold. He's the stain in my life. Yes, that's how this works. So then there's Miku, who is the smallest of all of them. She's the one that gets to go in all the crawl spaces. Yeah, no one likes the crawl spaces. I remember our other friend Michelle, who cannot be here because she lives halfway across the country now. When she was playing it, she would rather fight the boss who can one-hit KO you, just just like insta-kill you instead of going into the crawl space. She would rather die repeatedly than go into the crawl space. She did so several times. Yes. No, even when you weren't around, she's like, I'm just gonna let Octopus Kappa-Man kill me like 5 times. We are not going there. This is not an 18+ panel. You can't say things like that. You guys can't hear it, and I'm not going to repeat it. Come in, come in. You want to learn about ghosts? I got you covered, bro. Okay, but yes. So
Garrett.
we're talking about sexism right now because that's what Fatal Frame 3 was. Okay, so there was Ray, who did all the normal stuff. There was Miku, who goes to go in the small areas because she's tiny. And then there's Kay, who's only there to push around drawers. He could do literally nothing. He didn't get a camera. He didn't get a flashlight, like in the 4th game. He didn't get a flashlight. He didn't get to fight ghosts. He had to hide behind partitions and wait for the Holly Maiden to go down a hallway, and then he could go. Like, he's just... This isn't an 18+ panel. Those are the sounds that she made. She was crying. You need to be appreciative of her pain. No, we're not appreciating Kay's hard work. His hard work of pushing presents and dissolving. No, that doesn't count. But, so, that introduced the whole, like, the three-man band of Fatal Frame, which continued to be a thing through the 3rd one. So the 3rd one it happened, 4th one it happened, and 5th one it happened. There was always 3 different characters you were playing as. Although for some reason during the 5th one you got like a Five Nights at Freddy's montage where you had to watch a whole bunch of different cameras for the ghosts. It was, I don't know, it was weird. Like I honestly think that that's where Five Nights at Freddy's got its ideas from. Yes, I think Five Nights at Freddy's got its ideas from Fatal Frame 5. Yes, ghosts! I mean, they are haunted animatronics. I'm onto something here. I'm going to make a freaking like game theory about it. It's great. Game theory. Did Fatal Frame 5 actually make Five Nights at Freddy's? Stay tuned and find out.
I'll check.
Yes.
We are actively fact-checking.
Good. Actively fact-check me. I would love to know if this is true.
Can I make a comment on something?
Freddy's
Can I
frame.
make a comment on
Oh,
something?
please go ahead.
So, I think the coolest thing about the 3rd game, actually,
Yes.
is that it ties the first 2 games together in that Manor of Sleep.
True.
And
It
I think
definitely
that's
does.
actually one of the neatest things they did with it, is as you go through the Manor of Sleep, you actually visit rooms and other parts of the first 2 games.
Yes, you do.
It was literally like, hello, my fans of Fatal Frame, come enjoy this 3rd game with everything you loved about the first 2.
Yeah, and the great thing about that too, I'm not...
Because
Oh my gosh.
one of the twins, the twin that survives is in the 3rd game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, she appears. That's actually why Kay is in the game. He's searching for her. 'Cause she
Oh,
went missing.
right! You're right. I remember that. Yes.
He does actually have a purpose in that game.
He somehow has... Okay, no. In my mind, he will only be the person that pushes dressers.
Okay, so
I-
they couldn't really have inspired either each other because they came out a month apart, literally.
Well, knowing the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's,
Nights at
like,
Freddy's
he
came
makes
out
them
first.
super quick. That what?
They came out first. They came out in August.
Well, we can also
Fatal
cite
Frame came
the
out in September.
Wow. cite the Bugs Life vs. Ants thing, where one came out before the other, but it was actually the one who came out second who inspired the first one. They just had a better
true.
production team.
Yeah.
That
And
is
Fatal
also
Frame
true.
5 was in production way longer.
That's
than
true.
Five Nights
It's
at
not like
Freddy's.
it would have. I don't think the first Five Nights at Freddy's took him all that long.
Yeah, I am totally ready to throw down.
3 hours in MS Paint later.
This theory. Yes. But I agree, adorable antelope. Are you an antelope? Please. Okay, good. I got that right.
I'm a gazelle.
Oh, you're.
That's right. Wasn't it a gazelle?
Gazelle.
Yeah.
Pastel
Yeah.
gazelle.
Close enough,
The
right?
pastel gazelle. I
They're
love it.
essentially very closely related.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, she does bring up a good point. In the 3rd one, you get to go through areas of the 1st and the 2nd one, which if you played the 1st and the 2nd one, not only is it a throwback, like, hey guys, welcome back, it's also, you better prepare for some stuff to go down because you've been here before and you know better. Yeah. The 4th one, I'm going to be I'm going to be completely honest, I am still going through the 4th one simply because I didn't really have access to it before. All I can tell as of right now is that the chick named Madoka is not very smart. Which seems to be a theme in Japanese culture because every Madoka I've ever seen has somehow tried tried to sacrifice themselves, intentionally or unintentionally. Be it a magical girl or a girl in a haunted hospital. Well, either way. Do you want to make a contract and then you're dead?
It's probably because someone named her Madoka.
Probably.
I would
assuming
probably have suicidal tendencies as well.
Yes, if your name's Madoka, you're probably not going to live past 15. That's what I'm assuming. But so, geez, tangents are a thing.
4.
Yes, Fatal Frame 3. Hello. You want to learn about ghosts? Have you played the games before? Okay, good. We're kind of like going over what it's about. So we're on the third one. They all have the same sort of theme, which is there is a pit of hell, and you have to fix the problem because nobody knows how to clean up their own stupid messes back in like Meiji era Japan. No one knows how to do it. But I'm not going to touch on the fourth one too much just because I don't know a whole lot about it, which I know makes me a horrible person. I should have gone through the whole thing before this panel. I'm sorry.
Maybe you could have done it like Thursday night instead of doing your costume.
No.
Also, nobody
Stop
here's going to be able
endorsing
to
him. I'm
play
stealing
it.
your hat now.
True.
Yeah, live with it. Live with your
It never
shame.
came out over here.
But the fifth one, I have words about the fifth one. After we're done with the recap, we'll be able to go into rant time. So the fifth one is a mountain. It's a mountain. That's what you're doing. It's a mountain, and then it's like a pawn shop. You're in both of those places, and you are like psychic for some reason, and you have to go and Oh, okay. You're psychic for some reason, and you have to go figure out what's going on with this whole like water marriage thing that's happening on this temple, and why every time people try to go up to this mountain, they are dying. And it turns out it's just a simple case of like water being like completely toxic because of people keep throwing bodies in there. Like, you'd think that you wouldn't drink water that has dead bodies in it, but oh, hello, you came in at the right time.
But my flavoring.
Yes, flavored with death.
Do you eat ramen without putting the flavor packets in?
You're disgusting. The great thing is I'm looking right at the camera because you're right behind it. So yes, audience, you're disgusting. But yes, so you're trying to figure out what's going on with this whole marriage thing, and you're trying to figure out why people are not coming back. And you have, like, it's you, and then it's your psychic teacher lady that you're trying to find. Oh, that's what it is. You're trying to find your psychic teacher lady because she went missing. She is very pretty. She has the best booby physics out of the entire game. That's when they introduced the booby physics, by the way, and actual running. Because in all 4 previous Fatal Frame games, you are so unprofessional. You're not even technically part of this panel, so unprofessional. But in all 4 of the previous Fatal Frame games, you did like this brisk jog as opposed to actual running.
But shuffle running is like the future, isn't it?
Yes, shuffle running away from the machete that's about to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think that they'd run with more urgency.
They didn't need to run before. They didn't have the physics nailed down. There's no point in running if you don't have boob physics enabled.
That is very true. If you don't have boob physics, there's no point in running. But then they got the boob physics in just in time, might I add, to add wet t-shirt physics. Because you're on a mountain where it's constantly raining, and the wetter you are, the more damage you take.
I'm waiting for the volleyball DLC.
The volleyball DLC. Okay. Then, I mean, there are spin-offs of... we're not going to talk about Spare Camera yet, unless someone brings it up. And I know he's going to bring it up. Hold on, you've got to wait. Okay, so... is there any questions you guys have before I let you guys ask me questions that are going to make me angry? Because they always do. Do you have any questions about the game? Is there anything that you think, like, if you've ever seen any sort of Fatal Frame thing, do you have any questions about the game itself? Yes?
I only played up to 1 or 2.
Uh-huh.
How's the upgrading system past the second game?
Past the second game, it's actually not all that bad. It tends to stay fairly similar. They don't diverge too much from it. They refine it. Like, they refine it to make it more streamlined. It's not as
confusing.
Yeah, it's not as confusing or clunky as it was in the second game. Also, you don't have so many annoying noises when you go and click every single button in the menu. You missed that? You missed the ching the ching 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 the ching ching. Yes, that was the menu.
But everything is clockwork.
Yes, that used to be my ringtone for you, wasn't it? Yes, we recorded her deleting pictures from the camera in the game because she wanted the most annoying ringtone she could possibly get. So she got ching-a-ching-ching, hello, come on in, we won't bite, but the ghosts might come out of the walls, it's fine. Yes!
That is something that you didn't talk about, is how you fight the
How you
ghosts
play
and what
the
the
game.
camera
Oh,
Yeah.
right, how you fight, wow, that's kind of a big part of the game, I might not talk about that. So, yes, fighting the ghosts, look, judge me all you want, it happens. Thank you, I appreciate you. The way you fight the
should have brought your
ghosts.
camera, CJ.
I didn't think to bring the Fatal Frame camera.
Aw, that would have been what? You've already provided so much.
I have a camera too that looks just like the camera obscura.
It's so beautiful.
That I'm not selling though, so I just take it with me.
It's okay, we can find them at antique shops. She said she's leaving me for the gazelle. I'm sorry, this panel's over. Everybody leave. No, I'm keeping the hat. You're breaking up with me, I'm keeping your hat. Okay, the way you fight the ghosts. Wow, I don't know why I didn't do this. The way you fight the ghosts is not traditional. You do not have a gun, you don't have a lead pipe, you don't have any other thing. You have your wits, your courage, or what little of it you have, and you have a camera. No, we are not talking about the weird Indonesian version where you have to fight Vishnu for some reason. There is a thing where you use your cell phone to do this, I'm not joking. But you fight with an old camera, which is called the Camera Obscura, which in Tucson there used to be a camera shop called Camera Obscura. It doesn't exist anymore, it makes me sad. Camera Obscura does not exist anymore. But you fight with the Camera Obscura, which is made by this guy with the last name Asol, which makes me laugh. Always makes me think of a guy with like a Fu Manchu, like he's stroking it, like Asol, Asol. That's how I think of it. But he created the spirit camera, the Camera Obscura. Dang it, I called it the spirit camera.
Yeah.
And you have to use this special film to capture the spirit of the ghosts to re-kill them. And this is why Man-Meat in the third game is not effective, is because he doesn't get a camera, he just gets to hide like a little jerk. But Miku gets a camera.